Good morning, fellow viewers at home and abroad across Africa on the ACN network. You're welcome to another episode of the No Conny Talk Zone with me, Capo Daniel, your host. A show where we bring you the truth without fear or favor, unafraid. We will speak our mind and bring you information that are critical to help you to shape your opinion in regards to the liberation movement of the people of Ambazonia, the people of Biafra, and all the peoples around Africa. We are an advocacy platform where we advocate for a liberation agenda. I believe in civil liberty, and that is what we push here. We believe in the availability of information to our people so that they should know what is being done in their name. We believe in holding leadership to account so that they can only speak and promise the people what they can deliver. So that the hope we ask our people to hope for will be based on attainable objective, attainable roadmap to attain those goals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I want to take opportunity also for apologize for the show I canceled yesterday. That was because I'm suffering from some sore throat. I've not fully recovered. I've just barely loaded myself with medicine to be able to do this presentation. So please bear with me because I will not be able to speak as I used to speak or being energetic as I used to be. And in any case, the show goes on, the struggle continues. So we will start as we always start every time, traditionally by playing some music to entertain our viewers and get set for the show, and use that moment to greet everybody who is watching me on my YouTube channel. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, try to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get the latest video and update of my presentation. I am Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the anti-kidnapping czar for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, serving under the Ambazonia Governing Council with our leadership of Dr. Cho Ayaba, who is also the leader of Ambazonia Liberation War. And for our viewers across the border in Biafra land, please, you are highly welcome. You have a special place as an allied. I greet everybody across Africa, and from some of our people who called me from Gabon. Can you imagine? But they were Ambazonians who called me from Gabon, and they were asking why have I not come online all this while. I was not feeling well. And my counterpart as well, Lucas Asu, the press secretary of the governing council, was not feeling well. So, but we have to pick up ourselves, hit the road, and running for our people. Everybody, you are welcome. So before I give you the song for today, I just saw this video on social media of Seseko Ebini, one of our patriots. Is a man of dignity. I love him so much, a man of courage. We have a lot of different in opinion, but I just saw this his video he posted and shared it on YouTube, on on, uh, on WhatsApp, and I think it's nice to share it before I start my show today. So this is Seseko Ebini. He's a strong supporter of Julius Ayok Tabi, who is the head of the IG group, and he's in Kondengi prison. Seseko Ebini is one of the elites of Ambazonia, who is not ashamed or afraid to fight for his people. One of the tactics that the Cameroon government have used through its military attaché, called My Country People Them, is to bring insult, inject chaos, the Gota politics, in order to make it impossible for gentlemen like Seseko Ebini and many other Southern Cameroonians who are in the middle class or the so-called elite class not to feel inclusive or to feel comfortable to participate in our revolution. But some of them who are brave, like Seseko Ebini, like Dr. Carson Anyangwe, despite their educational background, their social status, have stayed within the struggle to fight as activists, human rights defender, to make sure that this revolution have sanity to take us to Boya. It is a tough thing to do. I can testify to you to that. It may not be easy at all, but We have to fight. This is the only way we can get to Buea. This is the only way our people can free, because we are fighting the worst of human beings, what I call the wicked black man. These are people that are being engineered by a system that thrive on scratch my back as scratch your own. A few elites that have been given over countries by the colonialist power to hold those territories for them, and they will do to us what the white man could not do to us. And we thank all those who have stood their ground, did not abandon the fight, to fight for freedom, to fight for the voiceless, and all those who could have easily just go their way, live their life abroad, or even in ground zero, continue their job and their family. But they have withstand the insult and continue to support, and those who support from behind. So this is a tribute to you all. Thank you so much. We have to continue the struggle. So I'll play you now the actual music of today, which is a music I love so much. You know me, your countryman, I always love indigenous stuff. So this is the Ambazonian village music, man. So welcome. I can see Julius Julian. I can see Julia is on the line. I want to greet all of our IDPs, all of our refugees, and all those who are in prison, incarcerated in Nigeria, in Cameroon. Greet all refugees in Ghana, in Gabon, Greece, and all those areas make struggling to be away from the conflict. I want to greet all our heroes in Ground Zero, all the Ambazonia Defense Forces fighters, General Ebube, General Kumbu, Major General Kapo, Captain Smopikin. I want to salute General Tokandu, salute our Supreme Big Noba, Manguru, and all the sister forces. I want to salute Commander Foolishman and many of our commanders that their names are not even out there, to recognize you guys for the wonderful and the anti-kidnapping squad head pastor. I greet all those who are working so hard. I also want to greet those who are making it possible through financial contribution for the boys to be able to equip themselves, defend our communities, and fight against Cameroon terrorism. The job you are doing is on par, and I think will register in our history. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will start our show. To introduce our show once more, the topic is the title for the show today is From the Enemy's Own Mouth. Today, I'm going to take you to listen to what the enemy says. Sometimes you get the truth from the mouth of the enemy. We know the enemy by nature is the person who is fighting us, the people who are struggling to make sure that Ambazonia remain a captured territory in La Republic, a territory that was given to La Republic through mafia against international law and against the will of our people, which was expressed in the Manfred Conference. Today I'm going to play a video, a presentation from none other than my own challenger on the other side of the aisles, my country people, Kunda Titus. Here he has made an outing. I'll play that outing here. I don't listen to him, but sometimes our communicators and the guys in our intelligence bureau, they will bring to my attention certain presentation that he has made that warrants my attention, and this one is very revealing. So I want you to watch that video. I'll play it later. But first, We will start our show by saying a wise say and getting into my opening statement today will not be very long. It is just based on a parable that you heard from that song. Arata die na imop. Una know how they catch arata. Na for put smoke granite for trap. You go smell that granite, you go look that granite, you go forget all the danger with trap if you catch him. That trap you go kill him. Arata die na imop. Make we wise. Make we know say curiosity. Think the way they appeal to our appetite. Sometimes it lead us to danger. The Bible says there is a way that looks right to a man, but at the end is death. That is my wise saying, and that is my opening statement. So today we will begin our introduction into this presentation by making a statement that you can have this catchphrase: Ayabacho made the land ungovernable. Sako Ekome made the land unbearable for our people. Ayabacho make the land ungovernable for La Republic. Sako Ekome make the land unbearable for our people. That is my intro for today. You will learn more as we get into this presentation. You have a lot of stuff about Amba to Amba. But first, the Biafran movement, the Biafran independence movement, have kicked into a gear of no return. And you can see the whole influence of the Ambazonia Alliance with the Biafran people. It has opened a whole new chapter with the Biafran people paying close attention to the strategies of the Ambazonian people and the way we have made Cameroon ungovernable in our territory, make our territory ungovernable for Cameroon, and open a pathway to internationalize our struggle, internationalize our plight. And now the Cameroon government is now talking, and the international community is now talking for a real negotiated settlement of our plight. We are seeing the same thing in Biafra. And this is going to turn the whole Gulf of Guinea upside down. Biafra is a very key part of our component to liberate our homeland. Biafra is bigger than Cameroon. It has a population of 65 million. Biafra can destabilize the whole of Nigeria and bring Nigeria to its knees. They have learned from their history, and we are there to walk it through with them. The mistake of Biafra was to get into a contemporary war with Nigeria, when Nigeria have the backing of the international community. After Nigeria and the Biafran people beat Nigeria, they tried to even take land from Nigeria. That was a mistake. They have learned a lot, and we are here to work with them, and they can learn from our mistakes and make it better. The best chance for Biafra to beat Nigeria is to get into a guerrilla tactics, a guerrilla warfare, just like the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Ghost Fighter, while building a strong military as a nursery that is going to project force and meet up the international criteria of a force with a political agenda to stabilize Biafra and transit Biafra into a country and an independent state, to work hand in hand with the Ambazonian people to do the same, to fund each other, exchange of weapons, exchange of arms, intelligence, build on our patriotic nationalism, have diaspora meetings and football so that our political demography will forever change and will be irreversible. These are one of the greatest part of our alliance, the irreversible political mindset that will be changed. That is why Nigeria is panicking. That is why Cameroon is panicking. And that is why their agents, paid agents, eternal agents within the Biafra land and within Ambazonia are fighting everything they can throw at it to destroy the alliance between both people. This is the greatest achievement of Biafra and Ambazonia, to begin a new Pan-African relationship across the border. Hand in hand, we shall help each other. Hand in hand, we shall arrive at freedom. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll play a video that is emerging from Umuri in Anambra State, of actions being carried out by defense forces in the Biafra land. And I'm going to give you a little bit comment about what is going on so that you have a perspective.
This is Biafra Motherland warrior. This is Biafra motherland.
So these are new groups that are emerging from the Eastern Security Network, and more groups will emerge. You remember we made an announcement that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the hero, the strong man of the Biafra, the Iroko of Biafra, had made a decision to cancel the sit-in protest. He is in jail, he's a hero, he's frail, but the Biafran people have already taken that step and it is not reversible. The people want it, they want their freedom and they want their independence. So even despite that withdrawal of that ghost sit-in strike, the population of Biafra still observe a sit-in strike. That one for tell we say the Biafran people are ready for independence. They are ready to pay the price to have their independence. All they need is that the leadership should match up with their desire and make sure that they don't miss this moment. I see my counterpart there, Mr. Ikpa. He's been attacked ferociously. They will attack you. They will try to discredit you. They are going to bring alternative structures to lure people away from that main structure of the IPOD and the Eastern Security Network. But you should continue to collaborate in Biafra and make sure that all internal competitors that will present themselves as competitors with alternative vision, different from that of the IPOD, should be vetted and should be put in their right place. The IPOD, the Biafra people have a lot of factions. They have all worked in harmony until now. They should continue to do that way. And we are very happy to see these actions, and more actions like this will be coming up again. The trend is irreversible. Nigeria is done. Biafra will be free. So we continue to encourage our Biafran people to kick Nigeria out. There will be no independence by referendum. Referendum is already independence. If Nigeria give you referendum, it means they have given you independence. So they will never give you referendum. And referendum will never come because you are begging Nigeria. How can a slave ask for freedom from his master? There is only one way. You either cut off the master head or you run away, or you separate from him by force. So that is what is going to happen. And we continue to encourage that. Biafra must be free, and Ambazonia must be free. So, ladies and gentlemen, pardon me for those who joined me late. I have a sore throat, so I cannot speak as I would usually speak. But bear with me and follow up. So we will go straight to Amber. And remember, we have the primary presentation today is about we have the presentation which are titled the No Pity Effect. We have videos coming out with No Pity, launching attacks and burning villages, and also attacking La Republique, burning the house of a mayor, and having an attack with using a rocket propelled grenade. And a lot of inquiries flowing in. As I've always promised you, my duty will always be to be there for you, to analyze and give you perspective without any fear and favor, and I'm going to do just that. So we'll talk about the No Pity Effect. We'll also talk about what we heard from the enemy's own mouth. Those are the two primary things today in my presentation. And also, more importantly, we are going to take you into Libyalam, into M'Mock Mbie. M'Mock Mbie have been taken over by the ADF, by the Akamanso. We moved in there with over 1,000 forces. La Republique du Cameroon were pushed out of M'Mock Mbie. They are posted there, they ran away. We followed them out of M'Mock Mbie. We are going to give you those video footages so that you can take a look into our operations. And those operations will continue deeper into Manu until we finally take over Boya, our capital city. So in Amber to Amber, we don't see Seseko again. He don't go hire some mentally unstable nurse. Now the people the way they live for America, where they take care for people the way their brain is shake. Now an honorable job for all those who are in abroad working in mentally disabled, mental unstable homes, working with old people. It's a very wonderful job. You are doing a good job to do what it takes to put food in the table. But we know those conditions are very tough, and to some people, it can get into their brain and they become also mentally unstable. Especially people who go to church, There are some people that goes to certain churches. I say certain because not all. There are churches that are scamming people and taking advantage of our vulnerable people. And this girl, I believe, is one of those cases. Her name is called Williams, Cynthia Williams. I think she's mentally unstable. She's been used by these pastors in Maryland to come out there and do things that are very, very dangerous and deadly to the life of our people on the ground. And a lot of time they bring people and use them and dump them, and they don't even know the effect they are having on the ground. You remember Louisa, who is also a nurse. He was brought and made the Sako's henchman in Bui. He ordered and participated in the assassination of 23 people without actually knowing the facts. By the time I confronted him with the facts, he apologized, but you have 23 people who were killed, some of them buried alive. It is in his mind. He will always regret that. Fon Ginyam, a son of the soil, was killed because he was there to facilitate and cover up for the people who were walking behind, which is La Republic agent Elvis and paid federalists Sako Ikome and Chris Anu, who are bent to kill all ADF forces on the ground for their political objective and understanding with Mr. Pobia. So this lady, I'm going to present you this lady, and for you to hear exactly what she's doing. And I want for Beguna, if you are a family member of Cynthia Williams, call her and advise her to stop following these pastors who are only going to destroy her life and take her to the drain. Chris Anu and Sako are killers. You have seen a list published by Ambazonian. Let me put this list here first.
ABC News late Thursday.
So you have seen a list. These are the list of the Ambazonian fighters that have been assassinated and killed by Sako. This is just a partial list that was compiled by somebody in a WhatsApp group in Kunta Kinte 360. I think they shared it there. It just showed the captains. These are only the captains of Ambazonian fighters that have been killed and assassinated by Chris Anu and Sako Ikome. So anybody who is partaking with these people, after you have seen the report from the World Bank that they have an understanding for federalism and they are pretending that they are fighting for independence, you should know that you are actually causing the death of people on the ground. When you stand on social media and they ask you to come and lie to people that ADF is working for La Republique when they are not, you are causing and putting the life of thousands of ADF fighters who have taken an oath to fight for your freedom and they are working honorably. You are putting their life at risk and you are actually causing their death. So this is one of the presentations she have. There are two, but I think I have just time for one. Let me play this one.
The Cameroon government is about targeting Nigerian security services for assassination in a bid to rally Nigerian authorities against Ambazonia.
So these people, they just come on TV, on social media, and lie, and create stories, manufacture things. These are not honorable people. These are the worst type of human beings. It is not a child's play to talk about the life of a nation when you have over 1 million people that have been displaced from their house. You have millions of Ambazonians staying at home every Monday because they want freedom. Only to have people who come on social media and on TV and lie and make up story. Now she's saying that they have intelligence that Cameroon government wants to go and attack Nigerian troops and blame it on who? On Ambazonian refugees. There are two things. They know the ADF have partnership with the Eastern Security Network led by Ayabacho and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have seen publication on the news that our generals have had meetings on the ground, both in Biafra and in Ambazonia. They have seen the scope of our collaboration. It has scared Nigeria and Cameroon. This is the most important and strategic alliance that is going to beat Nigeria and Cameroon. No matter the level of the scope, the alliance in itself have put us in an irreversible track to our statehood. and seal in the mind of our people our nationalism and completely alter the political demography on the ground. These people are now partnering with Cameroon and Nigeria to bring in the scare factor to our refugees who are not scared. Our real refugees on the ground, I didn't plan this one, but I'll show you. These are the real Ambazonian refugees. We are talking with them. We know what they are going through. We know their challenges on the ground. It's not like these are the real refugees. These are meetings they are having. These are real refugees on the ground. They are meeting they're having. They are under international protection of the United Nations Refugee Agency, and there is no threat to their life. If there is a potential threat and targeting of Amazonian refugees, it will be the responsibility of the UNHCR to get them out of Nigeria. Nigeria cannot make that mistake. There is no threat. All the audios and videos made in Nigeria are fake people. We have seen that Seseko have actually paid refugees to try to use them to generate fake news, to use them to attack Ayabacho and this alliance. Because this alliance will make sure that they cannot go and have any backdoor deal. It will completely destroy their backdoor deal. That is why you see Ebenezer Akwanga is coming and making up story that Ayabacho made a false statement. It's pathetic. Go and read Ebenezer Akwanga's own biography. You will hear him talk about what Ayabacho did to him. This is somebody that was rescued in prison by a network that was primarily set up. I don't want to go into the details because they have a lot of classified things there. But Akwanga should know. It was the late wife of Dr. Cho Ayaba. I'm not saying this coming from Ayabacho. I'm talking coming from people on the ground who participated in all those things. It was your wife. If there was a wife of Ayabacho, the late wife, that picked you up, that transported you out of the territory into Nigeria, and you are coming to say that Ayabacho did not help you. This is somebody when he was in Nigeria, Ayabacho traveled all the way from Europe to come and meet him there. Yeah, PS. I'm live right now. Okay. That was my brother, Mr. Lucas Asso. So, Ayabacho traveled from Europe to come and meet Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga at his own cost. Who can do that to somebody if it's not somebody who loves you as a brother and as a patriot? Ayabacho came there, make videos of Akwanga, went to Europe, had meetings with the European states to try to help remove Akwanga from Nigeria and many other people. The success they had there, the emails are all there. Of course, they could not accept them because there were many of them, but in principle, they had accepted to remove Akwanga from Nigeria to Europe. Eventually, Akwanga applied because he had family members in America and was resettled there. So, Dr. Ayabacho set out to inform the refugees that the AGOVC, the Governing Council, is working on a plan to remove them from Nigeria and resettle them in areas where they are safe, especially those who are in particular who might be targeted because they belong to a specific groups or those who are ex-fighters in Nigeria. That's what we want to do. And in saying that, Dr. Cho mentioned the fact that they had succeeded in doing the same for Akwanga. Of course, Akwanga did not take that choice of traveling to Europe. But it does not mean that Ayabacho is saying anything false. Ayabacho is correct. They helped Akwanga to help him to come out of Nigeria to resettle in Europe. It worked on principle, but they didn't follow that channel. So Akwanga should remind himself that is he really a leader? Who is he leading? This is not about him. It's not about Ayabacho. It's about the people of Ambazonia. And if you are parading yourself as a leader, you have gone and strike a deal with La Republique, declare ceasefire. You have tried to stop the ghost town. You have failed. And now you are trying to discredit an alliance that has made it impossible for you to go and negotiate for federalism. The shame is on you. Akwanga needs help. He needs a mentor. He needs to be in a psychiatric ward to be treated from his torture wounds from Yaoundé. He's one of the most corrupt leaders that we have. He's a traitor. He has betrayed Ambazonia in many instances. Mr. Sheikh Kabi had his file. The next time he comes out and open his mouth to say rubbish, we are going to expose him to the Ambazonia people to know exactly the madman called Petit Papa behind the Professor Akwanga, going around recruiting fake people with doctorate in China, and you're coming to talk trash to us. So this lady, Cynthia Williams, if you are a family member of hers, you have to contact her and tell her to stop this nonsense, to stop lying and putting our alliances at jeopardy, to start putting fear in the hearts of refugees when there is nothing to be afraid of. The last time he came on air and he was talking about, first of all, let me first show you this woman. Who is this lady? So that you can know when I say that she have a mental problem. This is a woman who is mentally unstable. These are the type of Christians that are being taken advantage by pastors. In this case, jobless pastor parading as revolutionaries. Look at her. She's an improper fraction woman. I'm sorry. I'm not saying this like an insult. It's just reality. So now the woman this improper fraction, but they call it say Cynthia Williams. We Seseko they don't hire them. Me you come for ABC, dispute lies without thinking about the consequences on the soldiers on the ground. You come and you lie about the alliance, about refugees' fears, to instill fear in them, without knowing the impact you are going to have on single women who are there, single parents who are there, people who are suffering to survive. Why are you people doing this? Why are you trying to scare the refugee? Why are you doing all these wicked things, Mr. Cynthia? Remember what happened to Louisa. They have brought many people like you there. All of them have run away. Because everybody knows Seseko is a liar, he's a killer, he's a murderer. You have seen the list of the people he has killed. Let me put it behind you. These are the list of soldiers and generals and commanders that Seseko have killed and assassinated and instrumentalized their own brothers to kill them. Because he has made an arrangement with Mr. Pobia to go and represent federalism, and he sees the ADF as a threat because we are not going to allow any compromise on our independence. Stop lying. In the show she made, she actually came out and she was talking about the forces in Foya. You know, these people are wicked. Who even know that maybe Chris Anu is behind the death of those soldiers in Foya? You remember the group in Foya is notorious for kidnapping for ransom in Bamenda. We have worked hard with them. I want to say, may the soul of Prince rest in peace. May the soul of Stone rest in peace. We work hard with them to struggle to tame that group and stop their excesses. We have worked hard with the population to help them not to expose them. But finally, they have been killed. And after they were killed, this woman, Cynthia, you go on air and you are telling the Ambazonian people that those people were ADF. That those boys who were killed in Foya were ADF. Those soldiers in Foya are under A4. Commander A4, who was one of the commanders of 7 Kata, who is an IG general. Let me put up some of the picture of those Foya forces. This is the barrier of those forces. You can see them with the uniform there. That is the IG uniform. That is not ADF. This is the group that was in Foya, kidnapping people right up to behind PMI in Baile, in my 2 area there. They have kidnapped and kidnapped and kidnapped. And you people are there, you don't even know what is going on ground zero. Covering up for people who have turned fighters into thieves. These boys have died because the population could not support them. They were there kidnapping people. They are all IG forces. You cannot call them now restoration forces. You are calling them restoration forces. The same people you were asking them to kill them. Tomorrow they will make video and send to you. You'll be putting it on your ABC News that they are restoration forces. When they commit crimes, you say that they are ADF. When they kill them, you don't even know. It's very, very sad. But whoever knows this lady, Cynthia Williams, should tell her to check herself in a mental institution and get herself fixed, and not allow jobless pastor to use her to commit murder and expose fighters on the ground to be killed because they want to go and negotiate for federalism. It's not going to work. We know that even that federalism is a lie, because Pobia does not federate. It is just a way to help to use you people to destroy our fighters on the ground and leave them open. So that is it with this Cynthia Williams lady. I heard that their channel now is now a La Republic channel with francophones there, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes we have to come back to expose this thing so that those who are watching them should have it in mind. At least they be corrupt. Today I have flu and sore throat, so I am not able to speak the way I speak, but please bear with me. So I'll go now to what we have seen in Ground Zero, and that is why I want to say we must always speak the truth. Our first priority is our people. I, Capo Daniel, I made an engagement with the people of Ambazonia. When I came on this show, I started the show, the No Corny Talk Zone, to be somebody that will speak without water in my mouth, to be somebody that is going to tell the truth no matter who it hurts, to be somebody that is going to hold all leadership to account without fear of evil. I started up with Abobala, with Harmony Bogba, Abobala, Patasang, Seseko, Sako, Ayabacho, all of them. Every time somebody make mistake, I will have to speak the truth, because the Ambazonia people deserve that their leaders be told the truth, even in public. As I say, those who say they wash linen out inside clouds, no. Ambazonia, we wash our dresses outside. We dry them outside. Unless now underwear we will hide them. So we have to have the information in the public. People have hold my shirt literally, like they talk, they don't hold my t-shirt. Say, don't come out, don't criticize, no pity, don't say anything about what he's doing. And I always make my point. We should not be doing things just because it is comfortable, or because we want to please people, or because we don't want people to be critical on us. But we should be able to say the truth, because once they get you to sit on your brains, then evil will prosper. Once they get you to stay quiet, not to say the truth, because they want to appease somebody or pamper somebody, that is when the devil will overthrow. I am not in this struggle to please anybody. I'm here to make sure that our people have freedom, and the freedom that they deserve. That is why I'm here, and I will continue to speak the truth unafraid. I don't care about, I have no political agenda. I don't want to become your minister or your leader or whatever. I am just a servant doing my own best, my own little I can do to help my country that I've seen in a situation that is not really, it's horrible. When I look at the people, I see the way they think, how they have manipulated our educational system. I was a rebel right from primary school. I always tell people don't believe me. I did not want to learn English from primary 5. I did not see any reason why I should be learning English and going to class. People are telling me how to talk. Say, ba, ba, da, da, da. All those things were not, for me, it was, at that age, I rejected English. I rejected English. Maybe it's just my how I was made. My grandmother called me Africa. That was the name my grandmother gave me. Africa called me Lukong. So all these names, Sense Past King, I'm using today, is not names that I'm making them up. Those are nicknames given to me by my grandmother. My grandmother, she may her soul rest in peace. She's one of the oldest women in my village. She's a very wise woman, and she gave me those names, and I am living up to those names. I hope up to her expectation. It is more important for me to be right than to be popular. It's more important for me to be honorable than to be happy with people when I feel bad that I did not live up to my conscience. My conscience, my God, and my religion, for me, is the biggest judge. And I make sure that whatever I do in front of people should be approved by them. I'm not a perfect human being. I do make mistakes, and I'm not ashamed to accept my mistakes because I know that is the only way you can redeem yourself, by accepting when you make mistake. So believe me, if I make mistake and I say somebody is working for La Republic and that person is not working for La Republic, I will not be ashamed to come and tell you that I made a mistake. I will also take responsibility for my own failures. I will not try to blame other people for errors that I made or mistake and miscalculation that I made. I basically run our intelligence wing in the ADF. I have a bureau in my office where we manage this intelligence full of very bright people, the best minds, active military men across the world who have volunteered themselves to advise us and to go through intelligent materials. On the ground, we have a formidable teams of intelligent officers, a high network of the ADF, and ones that I also have added onto those lists, and a lot of officials, all of us, we are putting on those lists that are working and making sure that we liberate our country. The intelligence bureau is a component that Africans are not used to. They don't really see the value of such things, but they are very, very critical. If the Europeans they win us is because of their intelligence. They win wars because of intelligence, not because of the soldiers on the battlefield. The soldiers on the battlefield are important, but the intelligence that guides them is even more important. And we have a leadership that I cannot compliment enough. The leadership we have in the ADF and AGOVC, I cannot compliment enough. That said, now people have held me down that we should not talk about the burning of market that was done by No Pity. I did not yield to people who were forcing me not to come out and criticize it. I did it as I could do through write-ups. And I was sick. I was not feeling well, so I could not do any show to make it measure in the mind of our people, to my followers and the followers of the governing council. And I know we have the best influential. Everybody who is influential listens to me. I'm the most credible activist out there. Me, Lucas Asu, we are the most credible leaders and voices for the Ambazonian people. We have earned your trust, and we have earned the trust of Dr. Cho and the leadership of the governing council and the respect of other leaders in the struggle. We owe it as a duty to our people to defend their rights, to defend them, and to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Because I did not come out forcefully to criticize No Pity's action of burning the market in Travelers in Oko, I believe it has proliferated. Since then, we have seen soldiers in Dongamantung burn down the caterpillar of a struggling Ambazonians who had paid them. We have also seen the Bui warriors have now gone out and also destroyed market opposite Shishong Hospital, a crucial market that was saving the hospital. We have seen all these things have proliferated because we did not speak out the truth. And if we are not careful to speak out the truth when we have to speak out the truth, to shun evil whenever we see evil, even if it is ADF. Remember, when ADF had problem in Kugwe, it was a minor issue that was caused by a particular chief that we now know was under the influence of La Republique, that invited the ADF to go and intervene in a murder case. Our soldiers went there and arrested people under the instruction of that chief, and they could not have correct proper holding to hold them, and they locked them up in a container before they were released. It created a row over our postures in Kugwe, and the enemy took advantage of it, and they penetrated our defense for the first time. Internal enablers came in and made propaganda videos. We came out and criticized the ADF for going around and arresting people just based on the word of a chief. And at the end, the chief came out and was lying against the same soldiers. Imagine how it affected our posture, how much money we have to spend to relocate our headquarters before coming back there, and it is now what it is. So every time somebody do something which is bad, we must criticize it. We must hold them to account. Otherwise, by our silence, we are allowing it to proliferate. And before we open our eyes, it will redefine the conduct of our forces on the ground. And nobody will be protected. Nobody will be safe. So first, the issue of this, the burning of that market, that market in Oko, in Travelers. I'll play the video to so that our viewers can be reminded of exactly what I'm saying. To be all honest with you, I want to tell you people, first of all, that the attack on the house of the mayor by No PC is a very good attack. That is the type of things we want to see. Those are the type of attacks that are genuine. We have contacted people there and they have spoken out. Previously, when they make the attack in Laseng, I came out and I told you, the Ambazonia people, that that was an unbelievable attack that was staged. I remain in the same word. I was not wrong. The attack that he said that they carried out in La Republique was never took place. I say it and I will say it again. There are certain benefits we can benefit from propaganda. But when we look at the political objective that it is going to ultimately effect, then we know that there is a danger in simply trying to make short-term benefit and short-term social media fame and then end up not having our people getting what they want, which is independence. I'll get to that shortly. But first, let's go to this video in Travelers in... So this one now inside Oko for a market for some quarter away, they call and say Travelers. When No pity enter for day, he can burn market, say that market it violates ghost town. Now the market is
see travelers down. Merde.
So now the action in this for No pity, a group that is under Seseko Ikome, the federalist parading himself as a nationalist. Wait away, I want make our people know. Collective punishment is a war crime. Lucas Asu have said it. You cannot go and burn a market. You are redefining the revolution. La Republique have struggled and failed to deceive the world that they are not doing the burning of houses and villages and markets. Now you are going to do the same thing and enable La Republique to use these your images and show the world that Ambazonia is the one also burning their villages, and you are going to create an equilibrium when it comes to consideration of human rights violation. Now they can firmly say that there is atrocity on both sides. This conduct does not represent the conduct of this revolution from the beginning. Each time we have complaints of a community not respecting ghost town, we send repeated warning. We talk to the people on the ground, we call them, and we identify those who are pushing for the boycott, the non-respect of the ghost town. We go after those individuals in a reasonable manner that will send a message to everybody to obey the law. We do the ghost town is by convincing and making the case to our people that it is important in their overall demand for independence. And this is what they must do. We don't go and burn villages, because when you do these things, now the population now will not be doing the ghost town because they like it. La Republique will say, you are now validating what La Republique will be saying, that they are doing it because they are afraid of you. But that is a lie. They are not afraid of us. They are doing it because that is what they want. So this action by No pity is wrong. It's a war crime. It is not something we should do. When you carry actions like this, you have turned these people into La Republique to come around black legs. They are spies. Tomorrow La Republique will be coming there that they want to protect these people against you. And it will make sense in their eyes. The enemy is always going to try to do things, but don't make it to have sense. Don't make it to have sense. So we condemn this attack. And also we have also seen that they have also gone into, let me bring you the other video. the attack in Donga Mantung, where a truck, a caterpillar of an Ambazonia was burned. This is just wrong. This is just wrong. In this case, we have heard the people have called us from that village from Donga.
You don't set fire. And fire that. Fire there.
So this caterpillar is a lifetime investment for this individual. This particular man had paid money to these Amber boys there in Donga, tell them he wants to come there and do some work. They allow him to come there after you come and burn his caterpillar. And then look at the burnt skin guys who are there in Donga. These are the people that give essential service to our people. And they go and burn down the bike. Tako, Chris Anu. Now our restoration force is this. Now they come every day, they talk to the restoration forces when they do the atrocity. Una no go can't talk to the restoration forces again. Una she don't quiet. Any man will claim for abroad say he gave force for ground. That man must take responsibility for which way they do them. They burn people their bike people, then are people where they know all corner for quarter. He had that bike boy they cry. You feel say that bad belly way he go carry and come off here. Tomorrow they will can't kill that soldier, then will not go even talk, even arrest in peace. Some of those soldiers, the woman they go call in, so we ADF go can bury them. Now so we go support their family. Because when they so una go chop una money, una selfish people una no care about this boy them. It happened say them catch that bike, burn that truck. People they don't take money for them. We must be proportional, and we have a responsibility to inform forces on the ground that they must be proportional. We cannot come and celebrate and condone this activity, because when you do that, you are encouraging and legitimizing such action to continue. Not only that, we are seeing the same thing also in Bui. The Bui warriors too have taken full advantage of the same thing. This is Bui market. Now the forces of Kikaikom of Isobo, this is what they have done in the market in Bui. And this market is very particular because it is opposite the Shishong Hospital.
Yes.
So the market has always been partially open, especially places that sell food. We do not have fridges and things to conserve food. So this market, everybody understands that they serve the hospital. It's safe that it is there because of the hospital. This market is there because of the hospital. So they came there. We know that they wanted to steal mobile phones. That was what they were targeting. They came and break into shops, collect mobile phones, and that mobile phones from the guy, we have spoken to the guy, the young man, say he's dead. That was all his life. They have come and steal all his mobile phone. This is thief. This highway robbery. All the destruction you are seeing is just cover up for what they wanted to do.
It's in front of the hospital.
So this is what Sako and Cristiano they are doing, and the conduct of their so-called restoration forces. This is the guy, the young man. That young man you see there, being comforted by that nurse. They came in, his shop was closed. All the shops that sell mobile phone were closed. These Bui warrior guys under Kikaikom Isobukam, they came there and broke those shops, steal all the mobile phones, all electronic, and go away with it. 3 shops like that, they did the same thing. The life of those boys and their family, their livelihood is gone. And they say that this is a policy because they are disobeying Ghost Town. No. It's not because they are disobeying Ghost Town. Those boys came there to steal mobile phones. And they are taking advantage of a revolution because you have thieves like pastors giving them legitimacy, giving them a blank check to do whatever they want. And this is wrong. Collective punishment is war crime. It's not a conduct that we have seen in this struggle for the past 4 years. No forces have burned down market. Forces have gone into market and asked people to close, shoot guns in the air, scare people to go home. They don't come and burn down market. Ambazonians don't burn market. If you are a force on ground zero, you are listening to me. Do not burn market. It is not acceptable. If you do so, we are going to come after you, just like we will go after La Republique. If we can fight against La Republique, know that we are going to fight against you after all. The whole concept is abstract if it does not focus on the life of the people and the value of their life. So we condemn these actions. It's ridiculous. Even you go down to Bali, Grandpa Bali, you have declared an indefinite lockdown in Bali. How do you think our people will survive? And the Sako and the Kome who are there eating fat on you. These are our people in Bali. How do you feel when our children are walking like this from Bali to Bamenda to sell? Now, do you think that they are remembering that the colonial administration have banned bike? Does he even care about the bike? Whatever you do, if your primary objective is to protect the people, you will be considerate. So the colonial government will never uplift that bike. Maybe. Do you think you will continue this forever? Is it attainable? Is that the right thing to do? Think about it. Think about the people who are enabling you and advising you. Block road, do all this type of thing. Seize cars with number plate like this and all those stupid ideas. Nobody will love you who advise you to do this thing to our own people. It's wrong. Grandpa Bali, stop the indefinite roadblock. Stop it. We are not there to fight La Republique to change policy. We want them to go out. Sometimes we take decisions to change to send a message to them, not to change their policies. They may change it or not, but ultimately we are not relying on them because we want them to go out completely. If you had said that you will block the road for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, somebody can even understand. But to continually allow our people to suffer like this will eventually make them to turn and question the whole revolution. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It should stop. It should stop. All these excesses by these Sakos guys, or guys who say that they are under Sako, we know that most of them are not actually receiving orders from him. We have heard contradictory messages coming from both sides, so we know they are not receiving orders from him. But he's just there to provide legitimacy for groups that wants to do things like this. So, with this, I think it can usher us for me to talk about no pity, the no pity effect. Our people have asked us, make several requests for me to talk, to inquire about what do I think vis-a-vis the previous statements that I made, and I will say it. This is what we know. La République du Cameroon, they don't care about the life of their soldiers. During the Cameroon-Bakassi War, there was an incident that was leaked by members of Cameroon military that they opened fire on their own soldiers, killing 20 Cameroon gendarmes killed by the Cameroon army, because at that time Mr. Paul Biya and his generals wanted to ask the French government to give them helicopter gunship to attack Nigerian army in Bakassi. You know, Cameroon don't have an air force. What Cameroon actually have, they have is a trainer plane, a trainer jet, a transporter jet, and a helicopter that is for transportation. They don't have military helicopter. But you have the French government that have helicopters there for training purposes, and sometimes they borrow it to the Cameroon government, sometimes they borrow it to Gabon, Central Africa. They move equipment, heavy equipment. So for Cameroon government to use certain equipment, they need permission from the French embassy. I think even Ayapo have said this. It has been written in many newspapers, so you can go and do your research. The Cameroon government wanted to use a helicopter gunship to attack Nigeria that had pushed them back from many parts in Bakassi. and they could not get the French government to give them the equipment that they need. So they asked their forces, their army, their GP, to kill some gendarmes and prove to the French that they are already losing forces because they wanted, because of their ego, to get military helicopter gunship to go and fight Nigerians, which they did. I don't know how many soldiers they wanted them to be killed, but the Cameroon GP is their presidential guard who work directly with their secret service. They opened fire and killed 20 gendarmes to use those images and those deaths to convince the French embassy to give them helicopter gunship, which they did, and they went and they attacked the Nigerian and pushed them a little bit back in that Bakassi war. These things are publicized, we know. So we know we are dealing with a government that can go to every extent, including killing its own people for propaganda and to attain its objective. So when I see the fighting of No Pity and many other fighters going down, and I come out and I analyze it, is based on facts, consultation with experts on their observation of those materials. It's also in consideration with other background information that I have about what is going down on the ground and that the ADF have. The good thing with us is that we have an institution that holds us to account. I cannot come here and just say anything that I want. Even if I say something just that I want, the ADF is going to hold me to account. They are going to call me and tell me, this thing you say, what is the basis? Is this what we discussed? Is this what was presented to us in the intelligence, in the War Council? All these things they will have to hold us. So we don't just come and say things from nowhere. We don't just make up things like that. No. You can actually look at the physical evidence that are available in the public. So we also know that the French government and the French intelligence services is working with the Cameroon GP and the Israelite who have been trained mainly by Israelite multinationals, not necessarily the Israeli state. They work with them. They have successfully worked with them to destabilize Nigeria and hold Nigeria hostage using Boko Haram. The regular Cameroon army had captured French soldiers on the battlefield with Boko Haram, turned them over to Yaoundé, and they were released back to France. We know that for the French government to destroy the Biafran independence when they were fighting, they came through Ivory Coast and pretend that they are partners with their Biafran, recognize Biafra through Ivory Coast, send their people there to go and study the Biafra movement. They came out and used Amadou Ehijo to cripple the Biafran by blocking the South African mercenaries that were providing weapons to the Biafrans and food. That is how they killed the Biafran movement. We know these modus operandis. It is not fiction. This is the history that can inform you of the capability and trend that you can notice with our enemy. That is why you see Boko Haram have Humvees. Boko Haram have French-made Humvees, French-made machine guns. That's why Nigerian government cannot beat them. You hear they're talking about all this jihad stuff. It's just ideology. But when it comes to manpower, guns, it comes from France. We know that politics. So we also know the case of Ayeke. I've spoken with him. He has also said information to the public space. When the information came off from, let me not call the name of the person on the ground, that Ayeke was drinking Mimbo with some bees in a station not far from where he used to work. We called him. I presented those information to him. He told me, say, Capo, you don't know how to get my own weapon. I get my own method and get your own weapon. I will not go deep into that. Sometimes he even came online and he was talking about it that yes, Cameroon soldier did not even have food to eat and all those stuff. But when they decided to kill him, when a local bee decided to pick him up, all those agreements he had with those people, he could not survive him. You guys saw him just came up with guns. His core guys were taken out. He was there with guns, making generals here and there. Nobody questioned it, right? When I tried to question it, people were saying that Capo, and they don't, why are you questioning Ayeke? When he died, those people were not there for him. He always get to me for advice because he knows I say the truth. What did he do? He was providing a buffer to stop the ADF movement of mass number of troops into Libyalam. Since he fell, ADF has been coming to Libyalam, going right up to Manu. You have seen the change. Commando, you have seen him, his brother Blinky in Nigeria with my country people. I mean my country people, Kondas Titus, you have seen him there with the Kondas. They were providing a buffer to stop ADF from using Gozang to have that free access. You saw what happened when we moved into Gozang. La Republique abandoned positions in Bali to come and defend and make that block there because they know when we come in hot, it's very tough for them. So, coming to no pity, the no pity effect. We know how long it takes for our soldiers on the ground to plan attack. The intelligence it takes when people see weakness of La Republique, they inform us. We send intelligence to check it out. We see if it is ready to go, and we ask our soldiers to lay ambush, make a map, and attack. These are common things that every forces do, so nobody should think that we are giving out so much information. So, out of a sudden, no pity is appearing here and there without any structure. ADF is the only structure with command and control. There's no force that have the structure that we have. That's why we are recognized as the only force on the ground. You know, there's a difference between force and those fighters. We have a structure on the ground, a command and control. We have training, we have trainers. We have our members, our leadership actually founded the force that we have. They actually go on the ground, recruit, train people with the ideology that they have. No pity is appearing in one place, carrying out an operation. You have seen the video to what for me looked like soldiers who were already dead, or maybe prisoners, whoever were put those dresses, they were already dead. In the case of Lassen, you saw the videos, it plays. My observation, you can observe it yourself and see if I am making it up or I am wrong or our analysis are wrong. Those soldiers of La Republique were dead before they get there. All of them shot in the head, but still they had the cap on them, near their body. How efficient can they? So even the American military to give those shots to people is unbelievable. That's why I call them unbelievable attacks. In those videos, you see them shooting one direction. There's no bullet coming towards that direction. They don't have any sense of fear or protecting themselves from those coming. They just go run, gonna take it. In the case of Lassen, the only one ADF soldier that was embedded with them, that was acting like an informant, giving us information, was the only soldier that was killed there. No pity will go to all those operations, do not suffer any loss, do not receive any bullets coming towards that direction. Let me take you to the latest video, and then I'll tell you what is happening there without any corny. Make your own judgment. Don't just believe what people say, but make your own judgment. This is a video of a no pity attack. Let me get this video with the RPG. In all these videos, I will have to be fair and balanced. I have to be fair and balanced. In all these videos, we don't over expect that you must. It's not a movie. To take videos is very difficult. But we have seen many soldiers take video on the ground. We don't ask soldiers to take videos specifically. But in all these videos, you really don't see the target. And there are just so many questions that it raised and it answers. These are natural observation because of many things. If somebody like No Pity, who knows that Seseko was not sponsoring him, had nothing to do with him, there is no rationale for him to join Seseko. It's not reasonable. He knows that Seseko is working for Federation, yet he's giving him that legitimacy. Seseko do not have command and control over him, just like many other forces that they have. So follow it. So this is him preparing a launcher. They have come so close to that place to prepare a launcher. a rocket launcher, RPG, to target the Cameroon military post. He finally succeeded to launch the launcher. I think you have watched the video. So, you so you can hear it. So you watch all that action. There is no bullet coming towards their direction. There's none. Absolutely none. They have used an RPG. You would assume that they have attacked a Cameroon military post full of Cameroon army, because every Cameroon military post that you see there in Ambazonia, ask anybody on the ground, the minimum that we know in the outskirt place, I mean the minimum is 9 soldiers that are stationed in every barracks. That is the minimum. Some of them we have is 20 at least, because sometimes they go for patrol. They will leave at least 11 back in their base. So you assume that he has launched a rocket-propelled grenade inside the Cameroon military post that have that amount of people in it, and you expect casualties from that attack and things like that. So this is the aftermath. I think he goes back. There's a video that shows the aftermath of that attack.
Yes, now FM no pity for Toulon. When I visit city the work of RPG. When I visit, now no pity work this. Now the brigade is will not move a kilometer for Oku. When I visit and the brigade is we will not move a kilometer for day today for Oku. So Toulon, when I visit
this part, if you observe this video, the pathway it done chakara for that ceiling now for outside, actually for outside for balcony. When you go inside the house,
yes, now for Oku for Toulon, FM no pity don't move one brigade for day today. Yes.
When you get inside the house, he will actually show you where he said that
back then this way they never hide for side.
Where he said that
they stand for side, we don't chakara all thing. Yes. So which are the talk for Amber civilians, and I say any man where they follow a kilometer no say par FMD and Abina they are mixing. Now their back this way they never hide for side. And I see the work of launcher.
Okay. If I show the place where that back then they did, if you look and very well, you not talk about any die body way they for it, because the person where they talk to the person where the die body way they show them for that attack. Now the die body way they for that place where that back then they way just come over show camera they not get any person. It don't show now the whole way the rocket launcher, the place where the rocket launcher is boss for the. Okay, look at this hole. Look at this hole for the wall.
And I see the work of launcher.
This hole, now for front that house.
Now inside houses for place the launcher enter. When I see
okay. You assume say now for inside here where the impact for that launcher a day. No be for outside for that roof. We see how that roof done come out so. Now roof this see done come out also for inside house here. And no one go for begin analyze how that roof for outside go come out and how this roof for inside go come out. Make that the chakara ram.
The Marine Force of Amberland don't want today for Oku. Now this year. Now for here we FM launch that launcher I can't enter.
So now for here we it talks to the launcher enter. If launcher is scratch that frame, it go explode now from that frame. It enter inside house. The propeller then will be dispersed from there. Those are natural observation, and all my way there for the house will be killed. Likely be killed. The impact for that wall as well. Maybe the head for that launcher when it explode, if you see go penetrate that hole and all those things. Now if now for here you go expect say people that go die. Now for here you go expect say they go show blood for ground if they don't move people, then for they or not, for they day.
Now for you pass.
Now wash up for yourself.
Now this year, wait we launch around
Okay,
one.
see the hole for day. So you go assume say go for inside the house, the head penetrate that wall, he come up outside.
Yes. Now this year.
Okay. You get a break for the video, where it means that they surely press the camera and then they come out outside for continue the camera.
Yes. Now this year. Now FM no pity work this today for Oko. Now this year.
Okay, they don't come now for that place where that sandbag be did. Can show and say now one military man that way, they don't kill him. The person where they don't show and say they don't kill him, you see a position for your hand, it shows that person will be done die already. If they maybe then turn the person. But even if you turn person when I die body, he hand go fall for that, he hand go be straight. If you don't have a position where he hand go be that way, where then hold him, the position for your hand go show and say, then likely bring that die body for day. Even if they kill that die body for day, it no still matter. I just want to give you some observations them. Maybe gonna take note.
FM no pity don't move one brigade today.
So now the same place issue and previously before one show the body for
the back and this way they never hide for your side. And the back this way they stand for your side. We don't check out all thing.
Observe say when he make this video, he show this back them.
Yes.
He no show or talk about the die person. Where if he be there for day, if he show him or if he talk about them when he be make this video. But he no show him. I just want to show now the signs and what if you see him for the video them for where he raise those questions them. But more importantly, no be only those signs them because if it actually be so way, there is an explanation for those signs them where will not be analyze them unless you will be on the ground for physically examine them, but will work with way to way where we know. All these attacks are unbelievable attacks according to my observation. They are unbelievable attacks. That you launch an RPG in a brigade, successfully take over the brigade like that, killing only one person, or if the other people died and you don't see any blood or anything like that. For me, they are unbelievable. That somebody will be showing up, killing La Republic, their military, without having any significant casualties or bullet coming their way, the way he is doing. And that person happens to be targeting the ADF for propaganda against the ADF. We know that the Cameroon government will do everything to make sure that the ADF is not the dominant force on the ground. Not that the ADF is struggling or fighting to become the dominant force. We are just doing our job. It happens that we are the dominant force or we are the mother force. It just happens. It's not by motive. We know that Cameroon government will want to have an alternative on the negotiation table that is going to be backed by a force, since the fighting on the ground is what gives legitimacy to the political win. We believe that the Cameroon government might come up with scheme, excuse me. Might come up with schemes to do those things like that. So these attacks by no pity can be a positive influence on the ground, can generate other forces to be more bold. But you see, he does these things and balance them up by committing atrocity against our own people. If you are that good, do not do the wrong things. Because when you start doing the wrong things, it shows some questions about your own motivation and where you are coming from. You will not be there targeting the ADF with propaganda, anti-ADF propaganda, attacking our population and trying to redefine the struggle on the ground, to paint Ambazonians now like we are burning markets and doing all those things. So this is my take on the no pity effect. If he's attacking La Republique mayor's houses, killing La Republique, whether it's real or not, it can have a positive effect on us. We can easily mitigate the long-term effect by also taking the challenge to do better than him or continue to do our own thing. Because even Cameroon use somebody like that. It can only delay the struggle, it cannot kill it. It can only buy them time, it cannot kill it. You can do something like this. Tomorrow, you bring him on the negotiation table and get your federalist leader, Seseko, to come there, and then they say, okay, we make concession. And if those of us in the ADF, we are not satisfied, I want to guarantee our population, we will continue to fight even a federal system that is set in place, which we believe will never be set in place. But it is victory for Ambazonia that we have reduced Cameroon to the level that they have to come to this. We have to know that. Straight, unafraid. So I will not want to take so much time on this because I have this issue in my voice. My analysis, I have not actually put out my analysis because I did not read from my note, which is very, very much more clearer in my articulation. But the essence is the same. What I can just tell our people is that be vigilant. When you see things, ask questions, including in the ADF. We have been fighting this thing for 4 years, so we know what is real and what is fake. We know the capability of our guys. We know the combat situation, and we can analyze these things and tell you exactly what to believe. I remember when Phil Mashar was making those propaganda, and I was telling people that Phil Mashar is not fighting. I actually had informant. Ayeke was my informant there. He was telling me how Phil Mashar get their weapons to La Republic, get the La Republic to come and take their bullets and stuff like that. At the time I was saying it, people were angry that why was I saying it? Eventually, Phil Mashar became a killing machine, killing legitimate fighters on the ground, banning ADF, going after General Mba Ivor, assassinating the Tigers and all those things. You saw it all. Had it been people raised those questions, the activists on that day, on those time were Mark Barata. They were there supporting, clapping for Phil Mashar, covering up for him. Phil Mashar will lie that he killed 5,000 Cameroon military. Mark Barata will come up and say that the Cameroon now is using a machine to make blood to disappear. That when Phil Mashar killed Cameroon military, Cameroon will come and spray some chemical and all of their dead body will disappear. They were making up all those stories. There is positive propaganda and there is negative propaganda. Propaganda based on nothing will have zero effect. It will actually embolden the enemy because they'll say, look at these guys. What they are saying is just all bullshit. So we have to be careful and we also have to be honest. So we have two major issues to arrange. The one of the issue is to take you into Lebialem in M'Mock Mbie, where the ADF have liberated M'Mock Mbie, completely pushing out La Republic forces. I'm going to take you videos and show you the mission in M'Mock Mbie in Lebialem state. But first, listening from the enemy's own mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow viewers, I want to bring you video footages from a show that was done by the Cameroon military propagandist called My Country People Them, Konda Titles. Sometime you know something from the enemy's own mouth. Listen to this video. Let me bring it up. This is a presentation that was done by Konda Titles. If you don't know who is Konda Titles,
I don't tell Beltus one time.
Konda Titles is a Cameroon military attaché. He started up as being an anti-Ambazonian activist, creating a story, a standard story that we have seen in intelligence services where spies are trained to come up with stories to justify their activities. There were many of them. Alex Ntife, Padia Sanga, who claim to be Ambazonians but points to one or more injustices that were done to them to justify their anti-Ambazonian activism. But we know that they are liars. They are undercover agents working for the enemy. Konda Titles, amongst all the blacklegs, have risen to be the king of all blacklegs. He has been the main person that was hired directly as an attaché to the Cameroon military. He himself has said it. They pay him huge sum of money, more than the captains of the Cameroon military, to provide them advice. He is now leading the group of anti-Ambazonian propagandists that are working with PR firms in Germany, according to our information, to help to fight Ambazonia by sowing this confusion and fighting us. And this is a video he made. He's an enemy. He's somebody who justify the killing of our population, the collective punishment of our people. He covered up for the killing of Bebe Mata. When Bebe Mata was killed, they came up with stories to help the Cameroon military. So he is a nasty son of a bitch. He is the real shit no wipe last. That type of dirty people with their own shit no wipe last, their own shit, they go dry so for Bebe for their shio. So My country people is a dirty man, na a killer, na a murderer, na somebody wey dey justify murder. He be guilty for partner with the Cameroon military for help identify Ambazonian fighters and help them for kill Ambazonian fighters who are good people, who are heroes, who have picked up weapons to defend their villages and to fight for a legitimate cause, the cause of self-determination for southern Cameroons, Ambazonians. I want you to know, do not be flattered and fooled and deceived by his ability to as a communicator. But in the other side, I think he's he's a good match. So he's really a good match on my side. We have promoted Isa Churuma, now he's the main guy there. Maybe this my word is going to increase his salary, but that is just the truth. So he has made this video because in their own mind they have built their own war in their own mind, in minds of blacklegs and zamzams. So what kills our people is curiosity, because they are always curious. Like the beginning of this statement, I say with him, wait way ki arata na imop, tin ki arata na imop. When you people are curious to go and listen what he's saying because it sounds funny and he makes all those things, don't forget that his messages are embedded with things that are meant to destroy you. But sometimes he provides some information that can be helpful, like the one I'm about to show you. Watch it.
I tell you, say, but the message is the way to be sent them out there where they radicalize when I send them for Bush. You know, say these people, they don't plan these things since decades ago. Since where you be still being now only about maybe 5 or 6 years old, maybe you know, we don't even the work herself. You know, say they don't plan all these things them. Better to say, you know, no, you know, understand. So I talk, say, okay, make you no worry. When me I get time, I will come do a live broadcast and I will explain some kind of things for you. And
so wait till where he talk about the genesis of the Ambazonian War for Liberation. He talk say they began to plan this war for a very, very long time. And wait till where he talk not true. When I listen.
Why that way I don't decide for bring on this live broadcast today, my contributor. So before we continue, I want to show now. I always come and they talk my things them and they bring plus evidence. I show now the evidence on the screen. Una fit see am for una.
So wait till I want me gonna draw from this presentation made by the enemy, by this genocide, by this terrorist, by this shit no white blast, by this Shumbu, by this Ngombe called Konda Titus. I want me gonna learn something. He go teach you now about who they actually fight this war, who actually get a plan, who then be dedicated for this war for a very long time, so that they go feel help una in the midst of chaos and many contradictory information to really know who you can really stand behind for effective liberation of our homeland. Una listen.
Selves, my contributor. So now una fit see am. This screenshot, countryman be do this screenshot now since 2020. Okay, for this Facebook account where it be belong to Sheikh Harvey Womelin. Now that boy where it come out from Banso and Sort Pekin.
So since 2020, this Cameroon military attaché, if they take screenshot them for them for understand what are now who they fight against, now who them be behind this fight, and that screenshot them for the evidence the way gather them. Now one of the screenshot for Sheikh Harvey, where be now the one of the deputy them for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the ADF. So now screenshot them this way he catch them for them for show people them, me them know who way they actually fight against. Because now the enemy they talk, the enemy know he opponent. From his mouth, una go know who they actually lead this charge for Ambazonian nationalism, Ambazonian freedom. Una hear.
Okay, he be post 48 pictures them under the album we call and say SCNC. Okay, now the pictures and these pictures them they be sorry my computer now some ant or some mosquito but they bite me for food. So when I see them now the pictures and this I go show now the pictures them one after the other, and also the information where ye the Sheikh Harvey Womelin ye yourself it be right time for describe these photos them. Okay, my contributor. Now one of the pictures in this where Sheikh Harvey Womelin it be put down for Facebook. Okay, when I wait make it be clear. When I see the picture now, when I see him, now my style is that. When I see him for that picture, Now Nijon Frundi that way there at the center of that picture. To the left, una see am for there. Now Sheikh Kavi Womelin that. I hope so una dey watch am. Una see am? Una dey see am no? That one so now Sheikh Kavi Womelin that. And una see the flag wey wear am for a t-shirt. I hope so una dey see am. Una see am? Na Ambazonia flag that. Ambazonia flag. Na Sheikh Kavi Womelin this. And na the information this. Where you write am. He post this particular post now for 2011. Una see am? I hope so una dey see am. I screenshot am from your own Facebook page last year for 2020. He post this post on the 25th of April 2011. Sheikh Kavi Womelin talks about it. He said, this picture, now before Nijon, if we forget the reason as to why SDF it be created. I really believe, say Nijon Frundi be create SDF for further the division of Cameroon, for bring about Ambazonia. Now what's it that way they be believe them? They be think say SDF has
So it is show una the SC una see Ambazonian flag. Sheikh Kavi, one of the founders of the ADF. These are the people who have been championing the fight for Ambazonian nationalism right from the beginning. These are the people who backed Frundi. Ayabacho was at one time he served Frundi as a bodyguard. These are the people that have been fighting so hard for the people with the whole agenda behind the support for SDF being that to resolve and protect the interests of the Southern Cameroonians and their human rights within Cameroon, and the agenda to give us access to our self-determination.
Political party, it be been a stepping stone to deliver them Ambazonia. Ma show una again. Now this picture be taken for 2006. Okay? 2006. I hope so una understand. This picture be taken 10 years. 10 years. But when I see them, they be already get flag. When I see the amber flag no, where Sheikh Kavi Womelin wear them. When I see another same flag that for this guy we wear and so they say they call and say na SCNC flag or whatever. It was all about Ambazonia. The whole point of SCNC it be been about Ambazonia. Okay, my contributor. Okay, my show now.
So make una know which way the talk will be very, very important. For a long time, those of our elites, those where they be see the injustice will be the face them for marginalization, disregard of law and the federal constitution of Cameroon and the unitary state of Cameroon. There have always been people that clamor for Southern Cameroon nationalism, that fought for the justice for Southern Cameroon, because it was an injustice to force us in a union that was against our will and against our aspiration, even though we voted to join them. So the SCNC and most activists within the SCNC had always advocated through legal means and through peaceful means that we should bring justice to the statehood and sovereignty of our country. That is legitimate. That is not a hidden agenda. That is an agenda that was spelled out in black and white. And the people that champions this cause are the people that you see today in the ADF, the people that you see in the governing council, Ayamba, Dr. Alari Ayamba, and many of those people, Sheikh Kavi Womelin, Benedikwa. These are the people that are dedicated right from birth, right before we even learn how to put our socks, let alone a shoe, to fight for our independence. These are people that can never betray the cause. And the enemy knows that. That's why you see they're talking about it. They know it. So these are people you can trust. You can trust us in the ADF. You can trust us in the governing council as the vanguard of Southern Cameroon nationalism, the defender of our sovereignty, and the fight to protect the integrity of such. When I listen, as you go talk.
See this one where I bring her now on the screen. I hope say my contributor when I see this picture. My show and for una find me una read them. When I read which way talk. The Post magazine. When I see the dates. When I see the date, ma zoom am in small. When I see the date, the Post magazine, the date now wait, August 2006. When I see am,
so now hear from the enemy.
now August 2006. Now who we picture that? Now who that on the screen? Ma bring the picture back. Now Ebenezer Akwanga that bunga man. He dey inside military khaki. He talks about it. He's a rebel. The world will hear from us soon. Ebenezer Akwanga. Say firebrand, Southern Cameroon's revolutionary. When I see him, August 2006. He said, wait, Ebenezer Akwanga said, the world will hear from us soon. Ebenezer Akwanga. So when I tell when I say these people, they don't plan for destabilize Cameroon decades ago. I come with evidence.
So wait way they talk now true. Ebenezer Akwanga, Ayabacho, and all those pioneers, they began to plan this war for a long time because their study and experience with La République be one way they be certain say Cameroon will never respect us as a state, as a people, nor will they respect us as equal citizens. And those theses, those theories were all proven to be right. That's why even John Fundi win the Cameroon presidential election several times. He was never respected, he was never given power because he comes from Southern Cameroons. All the basis of the arguments by the SCNC and all those who clamor for Southern Cameroon nationalism were validated by the Cameroon state. The banning of the consortium was the climax, and the killing of Julius Akom triggered the war, triggered our rights to invoke self-defense. And these people that could foresee all these things based on the past history of Cameroon attitude, superiority, dominance, and subjugative activities towards Southern Cameroon had made them to prepare for war and for self-defense, knowing that Cameroon is going to do what they have done. So they were right, and these are the people that had really, really prepared us for this day.
Would prove it clear? It clear for una see am. Some of una never ever see.
When I hear from the enemies,
some of una never ever know this reality.
Yes.
Now why that way we get to bring up una, we remind una. Now make we go for the next one. Now the next picture, this picture it also come out from Sheikh Kavi Womelen, the album. This picture now 2006, 10 years. When I read the signs the way they write them today, when I see them today, now amber flag that. Now amber flag that no me so. See am now 2006. Sheikh Kavi Womelen write them for this. The message is clear: no negotiation. Self-determination is an alienable right for all. When I look am, they say La République du Cameroon will soon hear from us. Now 2006. This 10 years. It clear? When I see I'm fine. When I see this other signboard for here, the one in white, they say Southern Cameroon has rejected the annexation, colonization, foreign occupation. What? This side, these people, they will demonstrate now for Germany. For 2006.
So whatever he's saying is a validation of what those people stood for. Southern Cameroon reject annexation, recolonization, and all these things you are hearing today, Ayabacho is saying, they are not just words. They are the reality on the ground. It has been testified by experts, by professors, by legal experts. You have heard it even by Cameroon ministers have testified that the situation we are facing is a one of recolonization. It's a one of annexation. These are all right. And these are the genius who could see these things when a lot of people could not see. These are the people you could trust.
Yes, without understanding the truth and the reality. People they don't plan this thing, they know the reality of what way they do them. It clear, make I go for the next one.
So now the year
make I go for the next one.
The people they know what they do.
Okay, now the next one this. When I see I'm na end it, they talk about it. They say this one a picture. Na Sheikh Kavi Womelen album this. It's a this way it says some comrades and I on the rest in peace of Albert Mukong's cascade. He said, the prisoner without a crime and the founder of now Need John's NGO STF. He posted these pictures then for 2011, just 5 years. At that time for 2011, he recalled Need John Frundi, say it na NGO STF. He call and say NGO. Because for 2006, that way they take these pictures when I see them, he says that for the Sheikh Kavi Womelin, when I see the amber, when I see which way the right hand for the Southern Cameroons.
So when I see from this testimony of the enemy, say the founders of the ADF, even in 2006, before many presidential elections came up, they already know that the ADF, SDF has failed and will fail, and are considering it like a failed institution. They were intelligent enough to know that. So these, in the enemy's own mouth, these are the real enemies. For the people of Southern Cameroon, these are the real patriots. These are the real nationalists. You can learn it. You can learn from the enemy's own mouth who he is really fighting, who is really afraid of, to know who you can back.
Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon, when I see them, it's clear. When I read them, Federal Republic of Southern Cameroons, it's clear. Now the pictures than this. No, when I make them, now their faces than this. Now them that. Now them take the picture. Now them broadcast them. And now why that way I don't always talk say, Amba no get secret. Everything they plan them in public. Everything for them they happen. Now for Facebook, they plan them, they do all this thing in public. We knew it. We don't see them where they come. Ma show now the next one. When I see this one, I'll be showing now this Operation Sunshine. No, this one. Now the guy where they call it say Mancho BBC. When I see his face, now Mancho BBC that. Okay, when I see this picture, for when I want to talk say na Photoshop, I know these people them for who side. These people them na them this. Ma show now. Now Sheikh Kavi Womelin right up. He say this one are SCNC and SCYL members from Condemnation, reunited in Bamenda Central Prison. Welcome home, brothers. Now them that. The day so now inside prison, Bamenda Central Prison, where they be catch them lock them because of their secessionist agenda for Bamenda Central Prison. Now 2006.
So when I feel hear from the enemy's own mouth, according to them, now a secessionist agenda way the ADF founders then get them. This one I for tell when I say the ADF and the governing council, their agenda now for independence. And those where they try to convince when I say ADF they work with La Republic for whatsoever are liars. The enemy himself has said it, that our own people, our founders, are the patriots who have the real agenda which is in line with the aspiration of our people, which is to separate Southern Cameroon from La Republic.
Bring una these pictures them now from 2006. My country people them 10 years before Ambazonia. A clear or a no clear. When I see their faces them fine. Ma show una the pictures them. Ma zoom them in small. Maybe when I see them fine. When I see the faces them no. Ma take them small when I go recognize them. Now Bamenda Central Prison this. Where they there for there. Ma zoom them in for una. Okay. Now people in this way they run to talk about secessionism for Cameroon. Now Sheikh Kavi Womelin this. Now Sheikh Kavi Womelin this for middle. It clear or it not clear? It clear when I see him. He wear na Ambazonia flag so.
So when I see Sheikh Kavi even inside prison, he wear Ambazonian flag. Somehow, somebody they want try to come deceive una Ambazonian people for tell una say this Sheikh Kavi and the ADF they work for La Republic. When I feel believe, yeah, some people are trying to do that. The Seseko Ikome. This is the list of the ADF commanders that he has killed. These are the list. They want to come and make you to believe that this Sheikh Kavi, who was bold enough to put on a Southern Cameroon flag in 2006 inside La Republic prison, carry our flag on his chest, that he is capable of selling Ambazonia and that the ADF is La Republic. Come on. At least give yourself a break. from all those scammers and fake pastors who have brought us nothing but corruption, scandals, and scandals and scandals and scandals. So you now know the truth. You now know who is fighting for Southern Cameroon independence and self-determination. The evidence are all before you. Even the enemies have said it. You have heard it. You have no excuse. And for those who have been blessed by the Almighty to have the financial resources that would need to liberate our homeland, please do not hesitate but to support these nationalists, these people who have the agenda to free Southern Cameroon. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, to refocus our attention, I'm going to take you to inside the great state of Libyalam to show you the operations that our forces have been carrying basically for the past 3 weeks, fighting and pushing the Cameroon military out of Libyalam. The ADF have taken over the great state of Libyalam. We have physical control of M'Mock Mbie. M'Mock Mbie have fallen under Ambazonian control. The Cameroon forces have run away and abandoned M'Mock Mbie. These are the video footages. Let me bring them to you, coming from Libyalam, M'Mock Mbie. So these are their commandos. We gone in there with over 1,000 forces, and we push out La Republic out of M'Mock Mbie. So
This one, I've already said Libyalam.
So this one,
command two forces in this. Went to Libyalam. This year, when this.
So the ADF have overrun and take over M'Mock Mbie village inside Libyalam state. Our forces have captured M'Mock Mbie. The Cameroon military have run away. For the past 2 weeks, we have been combing through the city, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, quarter by quarter, to make sure that there is no remnant of Cameroon military there. We have established our control points. We have established stronghold of M'Mock Mbie. M'Mock Mbie is now a liberated zone under the ADF, the Ambazonia Defense Forces control. Our forces have completely captured 3 villages where Cameroon military bases were there. We have pushed the Cameroon military out of this area. It is fully under our control, and our transitional authority will be set in place to help the relationship between the civilian population and the Ambazonia army that is on the ground. So you can see the footages for yourself. I'll let them play. The various chieftaincy that are within M'Mock Mbie, our forces have visited them. I'm also going to show you some at the periphery where we have pushed the line of control and where the clash point is, where our forces are facing the Cameroon military face to face. I'll show you those pictures subsequently. So your forces are on the ground. Our structured military is on the ground, fully in force. Their mission to liberate and take over Ambazonia is on course. Our recruitments are going up, and we encourage our people to continue to finance this project, as this is the most attainable way to take over our country. We can learn from the example of the Taliban who took over their country. Even from the best military America could not hold them down. We are going to defeat Cameroon and take over Ambazonia. So the video is quite long. I'll have to forward it. They have to go all across the M'Mock Mbie area. You can see our forces. Some of you were talking about bulletproof vests. They have all had those bulletproof vests. They're in total control of our land. So I'm going to show you some other video footages of the periphery where we have pushed the line of control. And I think this one also have our General Supreme Commander, big number, there in full force, just to give you a sneak peek.
Near my level now, so concentrate. Okay, I was on the year. Boluron start. Correct. She no the moon stay strong. Muna who gain all the prayer, Muna who prayer strong. We will move them for this glory, they didn't answer. She knew the now overall commander, overall general that the bigger of all numbers. General Efang, Naida Su. She knew the general by action.
So, ladies and gentlemen, their Kamanso forces, 1,000 strong, have been deployed into M'Mock Mbie. We have held M'Mock Mbie. We have put up our checkpoints, our control point, our monitoring, our control post, and it's protected. It's now declared a safe zone under the Ambazonian people. Our flag has been hoisted in M'Mock Mbie. It's totally secured and under our control. We'll continue our march until we reach Boya. Please do not forget to do your patriotic duty to fund the resistance and the liberation movement. God bless you. I'm your Deputy Defense Chief, Capo Daniel.